Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a representative who represents a community that's under an emergency financial manager currently, I have seen firsthand the effects that emergency financial managers and emergency managers under Public Act 4 have on our communities in this state. And while some of our communities have certainly had a difficult track record under some local elected leadership, I can personally attest to the fact that things typically do not get better when you replace local democracy with appointed dictators. Certainly that's been our experience in Pontiac, and it's not to say that emergency managers or emergency financial managers never do anything good or right. It is simply to say that on average, they typically do not improve things. Please.
Members, one of our colleagues is attempting to address the body. I would appreciate it if we could turn our attention to Representative Greimel. The Speaker recognizes Representative Greimel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, it's not to say that emergency managers or emergency financial managers do nothing but bad things. It is simply to say that on average, emergency managers do not improve the livability, economic vitality, or financial stability of our struggling cities. And that really should come as no surprise. After all, there's a reason why we believe that democracy is the best form of government, and that is that it holds leadership accountable. And replacing local democracy with appointed dictators who are neither elected nor accountable naturally leads to a lack of accountability and a lack of leadership that's responsive to local community needs. And that's why we have seen time after time that emergency managers do not improve communities. There have been a number of concerns that are valid with Public Act 72. And certainly I and many of my colleagues have been open-minded to improving Public Act 72. But this doesn't improve Public Act 72 in the ways that we need. It simply replaces Public Act 4 virtually along the identical lines of what was just struck down a month ago by voters at the polls. And so this replacement, which is mostly a simple mirror reflection of what voters just rejected a month ago, is yet another slap in the face of democracy perpetrated by this body. Not only is the emergency manager law itself of questionable legitimacy because it erodes local democracy, but here when the voters of the state, through the democratic process, and the voters of this entire state struck down Public Act 4, this body has simply returned to enact, in essence, the clone of Public Act 4. And this continues a process that we've seen with this body in recent weeks, circumventing the committee system to prohibit public input on other important legislation, and perhaps most insultingly, attaching appropriations to bills simply to prohibit and prevent a referendum. Yet another slap in the face of democracy. I urge my colleagues to vote no on this offensive bill that erodes the democratic values that we all should believe in. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.